Alrighty, good morning, guys. How y'all doing? Whew. Just gonna start walking down here. Good morning to you all. My name is Shohei Toyoda. Just get a little microphone here. Walking down the downtown street of Kyoto, Japan. I think that's all good to go. It's almost 8 o'clock, right? It's almost 8 o'clock in the morning. Whew. It's almost 8 o'clock in the morning. It's about 7 degrees, maybe 8 degrees Celsius. Walking down the beautiful Hanami-Koji Street on Kyoto. Early morning, no one's really here. Okay, let's see. I have on Twitch. Great. Good morning, Chris. Thanks for hopping in and helping me out. Here I am. Just checking on the other channels. Great. So, Chris, whenever you're all set to go, I'll just start talking in my real voice. Not real voice, but hey, my real voice. Get my volume up. And meanwhile, I'm just gonna show you this beautiful street here. All right, check 1, 2. Hey folks, just joining in. Hello, we're about to start. I'm just walking up to the point here. Just trying to show you this beautiful street. Hello, folks. Hey. Beautiful sunrise in my back. It's a great scene here. Cars passing by. Hope you can hear my microphone good. Check. All right. Live on Facebook confirmed. Great. Good morning to you all. Hi, guys. It's me again. My name is Shohei Toyoda. Standing here in downtown Kyoto. This is the historically preserved district called the Hanami-Koji District. With all traditional Japanese style buildings on both ends, both sides. With restaurants, famous for geisha girls. So a little high-class, high-end nightlife kind of area. Just gonna show you around here. Hey, hi guys. For this week, this is what, like week 4, week 3, week 4 maybe. Yes, so it's like my 4th time doing this, live streaming through the city of Kyoto, through the SANDEMANs tour, Europe tour. And I'm just every time I do this, I'm just enjoying myself. I hope you guys are enjoying this as well. I'm trying my best to show you around this beautiful city of Kyoto, Japan. We call this Japan of the Japan. I think you can figure out why. I'm just gonna, every week I'm trying to show you bits of every small things to, get you familiarized with the city. And I hope, when you actually able to travel back here, you get some more better idea of what's all gonna be like. So, okay, so I'm also live on YouTube. Hey guys, hi YouTube. My name is Shohei Toyoda again. I am going to show you around Kyoto City this week again, the center downtown area. This week we're focusing on religious places, the spirituality of Japan. I'm gonna visit lots of temples and shrines, trying to tell you our story on religion. It's before official start time. That's all good too. That's good. I'm just gonna stop by here. I'll let you know when you have the team all here. Okay. It's all good to go. Just trying to test out, speak out, see if everything's working. Whew. It's a bit cold. It's spring's coming. It's a bit getting warmer. Right now it's about probably 7 or 8 degrees Celsius. Joe, hi Joe. Hi from Australia. You're early, isn't it? Monday morning. We don't have so much time difference, Joel. So again, but yes, thanks for joining in such early time. Keep just walking down here. Okay, yep. So yeah, I'm just walking down the historical district area. This street is called the Hanami Koji Street, where you see all these old style buildings. These are all restaurants. So it's like a high class restaurants area. So if you can look at that beautiful pine tree behind me, like right there. Yeah, anywho, so this week I'm just starting to walk down, showing you Kyoto City again. Hi, Michaela. Hello. Hi, Michaela. Good morning. Yeah, please do guys write in your names. I see them. If you could write them where you're from, that would be also great too. I think we have a couple more minutes to go. So yeah, this week I'm gonna show you, we're gonna come back to the Higashiyama area, which we kind of did past 2 times. This is like a part 3, and we were gonna focus on the spirituality, the spiritual part of Japanese people, visiting a lot of shrines and temples, important shrines and temples in Kyoto. And a little talk about, if I could tell you stories about our religion and spirituality. Bronte Jack say, yay, thank you. Hey, Bronte. Or Bronte. Bronte. Great to see you, man. Rebecca Drysdale. Hi there. Hi, Rebecca. So yeah, I'm just kind of walking down. I'm just walking down here, heading to our first spot, and we'll just start the tour officially when I reach there. So you just... Teague! Hi, Teague! Those wooden buildings have so much charm and character. Have you stayed in a ryokan before? I have one booked, but never stayed in the Olympic issues. Very traditional, right? Yes, sir, that is true. Teague, thanks for your donation, by the way. You were very generous, and I really appreciate it. Thanks so much. I have stayed in ryokans before. I don't think I've stayed in a Kyoto ryokan before, though. Not really remember. That's a high-class kind of thing. My friend owns a ryokan. Actually in Kyoto. He's kind of really close by. It's in his neighborhood. And yeah, I've been there. And it's very traditional. It's very beautiful. It's very special. So, oops, construction work here. Yeah, but yeah, yeah. Growing up in the States, I grew up in the States, so there wasn't really much chances for me to visit a ryokan, which, you know, nowadays kind of high class, high end kind of thing. But yeah, it's beautiful. Once in a while you go there, it's very beautiful. It's very relaxing. So I'm just gonna pass that wooden building district, the traditional preserved area, like a high-end dinner spot, and I'm just walking down the regular downtown street. So you folks just joining in, hello. I'm Shohei, and I'm bringing you live from Kyoto City, Japan. It's almost 8 o'clock in the morning, and it's about 7 to 8 degrees Celsius. Kind of getting a little bit more warmer. Got my light jacket on. And yeah, so just gonna walk down to my first spot here. I'm gonna show you this beautiful city. I'm walking on, so Kyoto is city, downtown area especially. It's on like a grid. So, you know, it's almost like New York City or any other metropolitan major city. So it's, you know, streets and avenues. I'm walking on 4th Street right now, heading east. 1, 2, 3, 4. And in Japanese, Shijo-dori, 4th Street. Shijo-dori. It's the busiest street in Kyoto. Back in the day when this was, you know, when this was the capital, when the emperor used to live here. In our terms, capital is defined by where the emperor lives. So, in that sense, he lives in Tokyo now in his so-called second house. So yeah, when the emperor used to live here, he used to have his palace on 1st, 2nd, and 3rd Street. So he kind of dominated those first 3 streets. And so hence from the 4th Street down. Hence from the 4th Street down was the business for the commoners, where the commoners resided. And yeah, so that's kind of tradition still continues today, as it is the most busiest street in Kyoto. You start to see cars and buses. Busier. Hi again. Thank you, Shohei, and you're welcome. You are exceptional. Thank you for showing my favorite country. No problem, Teague. Thank you so much. Thanks so much for joining in again. Alrighty. Hey guys, I hope you are joining in. I hope you can hear me and all good. I'm just about to cross the street and start the tour on the first stop. Alright, let's just cross the street. And we're here at our first stop, and whenever you guys are ready, Chris, I can start the actual tour. Rolling. Hey, Ryan. Hi from New York. Good morning. Good evening, New York. Hi, Rolling. Thanks for joining in. Oops. You're good to go when you wish. All right, so I got a okay from Chris, so I'm just gonna start the tour again. So again, guys, just if you guys are just joining in, hi, my name is Shohei Toyoda. Yeah, so hey, if you're watching my show, hey, that's my name, Shohei Toyoda. How y'all doing? My last name's pretty easy to pronounce. Anyways, again, this week I'm back to the Chris Sandeman's live stream tour. It's probably my fourth time doing this. For the first two times I show you the downtown Kyoto area. Last week I showed you the market. And it was all fun, interacting, chatting with you guys, and showing you the city. It was really fun. So this week, week 4, it's kind of a part 3 of the Higashiyama area, which I'm gonna show you around the city center again. Yeah, just a little fact about Kyoto City, as maybe you might know, it used to be our former capital. It was built in 794 AD, so end of 8th century, and it's been our capital for since probably the end of the First World War. Since officially this country has modernized and moved its capital to Tokyo. Now, I just kind of mentioned that our definition of being the capital is, hold on, let me get this, yep. Sorry about that. So our definition of capital is wherever the emperor is living. So yeah, wherever the emperor is, that's the capital of Japan. So hence right now the emperor is residing in Tokyo, but since before that he moved in, I think, probably 1950s or 1960s. This was his home. So hence, until up to then, Kyoto was considered the capital of Japan, officially. So yeah, so you kind of, there's a lot of history, a lot of historically preserved area we just walked by, and it's just, it's really the center of our culture and our spirituality. So this week, I'm trying to, show you guys the spiritual areas, the religious areas of this beautiful city. So lots of great shrines and temples, which means a lot of beautiful architectures, and lots of stories about, how our religion, how the spirituality of the Japanese people kind of formed. So if I could just, tell you all about that through this tour, that would be great. And so I'm just gonna flip my camera. Oh, anytime if you have any questions, just ask me, and I can see it through the chat. So ask me, and there might be a time lag, but hey, ask me anything you want. I'll try to answer them as much as possible. Anyways, and also there should be some donation links, PayPal links and such. If you could help me out here, that would be great. We could keep this going, and it will surely help Chris, and surely it does help me. And so if you could be generous on that end, that would be great too. All right, I think enough is said here. I hope you can kill me with all the cars. I've never noticed it busy. Anyway, so first off, yeah, just gonna step up here a bit, and here we go. Ta-da! This is our first stop. It's the Grand Gate of the Yasaka Shrine. Yasaka Shrine, yes, the biggest shrine in the downtown Kyoto area. As you can see, it's the Grand Gate with the bright orange colors, which is like the orange kind of red color, which is Kyoto's kind of original symbolized color. Recently, recently this shrine was just nominated or dedicated as a Japan's national treasure. That's a flag that said celebrating its registration of the national treasure. So that's pretty cool too, and that's kind of we're pretty excited about that because that means this shrine is going to be preserved in any way possible, funded by the country. So I'm just gonna walk in here through the gates here. Usually shrines have two guardian dogs. We call them dogs. We call them Koma Inu dogs, but this creature is so old that no one really knows where it kind of rooted from. So those scary dogs are scaring the bad spirits out, not letting those bad spirits inside this holy entity. So we'll walk in here, we see the flag, and we just passed the gate. This shrine has a major history. It's founded in probably the 650s. So later half of the 7th century. Just to let you know, it's not like all the buildings here are much more newer than that. That grand gate you see right there, I know it's from the 1600s. And probably all these maybe the stones are pretty much older, but you see another guardian dog there. Beautiful lanterns, and I think that's a very old storage rooms. Gonna walk past this way. Start walking down here. So it's a Monday morning. It's almost 8 o'clock. And so not much people are out here and about, but I love to be in shrines in the morning because it's very beautiful with the sunshine. You see all the priestesses here cleaning up. I think we see all the priestesses and priests out and about here this morning. Anyways, so shrine. Our first stop is a shrine because that's our, first religion, which is Shintoism. Right here. So, in Shintoism is our first religion, first original Japanese religion, which kind of speaks our spirituality, which speaks our roots. It's a story that tells our roots, where the Japanese people come from, or how the island was formed, etc., etc. All right, so we're in the main hall here. Anyways, so okay, so there is, I don't know how many of you know this, but Japan, the history of Japan is about 2,600 years. So in last February, Japan just honored its probably 2,640 50 birthdays. So, again, we're a very old country, one of the oldest nations in the world. That the country itself, was, the history is vague since it's that old, and, we didn't really have written scriptures to history books that kind of leads up back to that time, but we kind of know it from Chinese history books that we existed as a country 2,600 years ago. In the book, it said that the country was formed by the emperor, well, the guy that claimed himself as being an emperor. The concrete-like tall pieces on the ground, what are they for? They look like stone lanterns. I have never known at temples. Let's see what you're talking about. Let's see, the concrete-like tall piece on the ground. Concrete tall piece. I think you are talking about the lanterns. Yeah, if you're talking about like that, that's a lantern, that's a wooden lantern, usually with the name of the contributor, the donator. And that is also a lantern, a stone lantern too. Sometimes with carved name on it. So if you're talking about that, yes, Teague, that is a lantern. So, and there's many more types of lanterns here as well. Yeah, it is a shrine. Yeah, it's a shrine thing and also a temple thing too. You see that a lot. Anywho, where was I? Yes, so it was founded by the emperor back 2,600 years ago. And, he's the one who declared that this is a sovereign nation, independent from the Chinese Empire. And I say this because I am I'm a descendant of the Shinto gods. So, again, that's how kind of things started. Generations later, I think it was like the 10th or the 5th emperor, back then it was all mouth to mouth. It was all like storytelling. But the 10th emperor, I think, said, hey, let's write this all down, make it a book, make it like a Bible, so it would be passed on forever and ever. Hence, we kind of based our spirituality, the Shintoism, based on that book written by the 10th emperor. So yeah, and then it kind of grew into, and so what the book was, it's a book is about basically a story about how this country was formed, and how there were many gods, with many characters appearing as gods, and so yeah, when that came out, the country was unified in that way. People kind of adapted gods from many regions, many types of gods, and yeah, so the book was formed, and we're here at this shrine, typically made in the 650s. This shrine represents the god of the guardian, one of the original three gods that made this country, and one of the forefathers of our emperor. In this main shrine right here, this is the god of Susanoo, which he is again the first one of the three gods that made this country, and he was the warrior kind of guardian kind of god. And there's so many people out here. Yeah, so anyways, so he was the one that kind of sits here and protects our city from bad spirits, which we say the bad things come from the northeast side, which is apparently that side right there, that side of the mountain. If you can slow your turn to the left, that would be, yes, that's very possible. Yeah, I just wanted to show you this. The view is so wide, kind of turning heads right and left so much. Anyways, yes, so this god is here to protect us, to protect the citizens of Kyoto from bad spirits. Now, as you can see here, this is the main prayer hall. A lot of people ask, do we personify, like do we have statues? Do we have a figure for the gods? And we actually don't. In these prayer halls where we bow our heads, we make the prayer, there's a mirror in the center, and in the mirror, so we're kind of really praying to the mirror, and this kind of represents two things. That it kind of represents that God is always watching you, He's always around you, and also the second is that the God is always inside you. So watch inside you for the spirits and all that kind of. That's the story. So that's kind of what we pray for. So you see this rope here, which is connected to a bell. Ring, ring. So we want to ring that bell. That's like knocking on God's door and say hi, and we put our donations in here. and hence we start to a prayer, but the rope is not there well, to reach, so hence because of the corona issue we don't want to touch everything, so they have this music box where they sets the ringtone, and that's what kind of starts it. So yeah, that's what I call a ringtone, definitely. Right, oh, there's a priestess coming out. I think yeah, everybody's out for cleaning here. As you can see, beautiful white dresses. Anywho, so that's kind of I don't want to bother them, but anywho, that's kind of this shrine represents. He's also a god that protects people from diseases and pandemics, so he should be very busy right now. Yeah, as I mentioned, this shrine is huge, and these huge kind of shrines have many gods in it. So the gate each represents a different altar, a different god, a different shrine. So that's one shrine right there. Notice how the gates are constructed a little differently. So that difference is like, which groups the god belongs to, which time period that this shrine was built, etc., etc. So that's like a simple wood one. This one is a very a little bit more refurbished refurbished with a little angles. So that's another god. So it's literally it's like a Greek mythology. You're here up here in the Mount Olympus area. There's a question: do younger people have less of a connection to the shrine like in the Western cultures? Like, do people get some spiritual as they get older? Great question, Chris. I get that type of question a lot from, especially with the Western people. That's another grand gate. That's the name of the shrine. So that's like a sign right there. So yeah, speaking of religion, we do have a very different aspect, different way of capturing religion. The current Western religion is there's one God. Like I'm speaking of Muslims, Christianity, and Judaism. Those are. Ooh, that's pretty. Anyways, those are monotheistic, one God kind of thing, and also that's that religion is very, how should I say, contract based. You have to say you have to, in a way, you have to have a contract with that religion. Say, I am dedicated to this religion. I am dedicated to this one God, and I'm not gonna, I guess per se, cheat on other gods or other religions, right? So that is a very different concept. There's a different concept in the Japanese Shintoism, especially because Shintoism is a local religion. Okay, so it's not like I have to make a contract with this religion. I have to go to this shrine and be baptized, etc. That's not. Our Abrahamic religion is what they also call that, from Abraham. Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah, Abrahamic religion. That's the term. Okay, now I understand. Interesting. So that's the opposite of this type of religion. Hence that if you're born in Japan, if you're born as a Japanese, you're automatically a Shinto. Okay? So and kind of, yeah, so you're automatically a Shinto. So there's not much I don't know, religious promises. This is more like our culture in a way. So in that way, you know, people just swing by here without any knowledge of this like spirituality or religious meaning. They just swing by here, and hence, you know, I guess the parents, or if you read books, the parents tell you that, hey, this is the god of whatever. Well, it's also written in the signs too. This is the god of whatever, and this god will give you this kind of strength. You know, if you wish to the guardian god, he will guard you. If you wish to the romance god, he will give you some charms of meeting, you know, a life partner, etc., etc. So, and no one kind of doubts that. And no one's, you know, no one's gonna sue you, sue the temples or the shrines when that didn't come true. So, so anyways, yeah, it's not. And so in a way, people just come by here to, you know, wish their well-being, get their charms, etc., etc. So in that way, yes, I think. For me, I don't think it doesn't really matter how old or young you are. So yes, a lot of young people do come here in that sense to, you know, check out the beautiful sceneries and all that. Some young people come here for the spiritual reasons. Especially, like, I don't really feel the spirituality through just the stories and all that, but I feel the spirituality of nature, because this is very beautiful natural scenery with beautiful, you know, again, beautiful structure of the altars like that. So that's where I feel, you know, a little spirituality, just by this garden style, outdoor, beautiful scenery kind of thing. So yeah, a lot of people comes down just to, you know, for a visit. You know, just probably like, yeah, in a sense of visiting your ancestors almost, you know, saying hi. It's almost like a graveyard for us in that way. A more lighter terms of graveyard. Ooh, looky here. Well, we definitely now know that spring's here. I think you guys are lucky. We're seeing one of the first cherry blossoms in Kyoto. See that? You see this beautiful pink flowers here. This tree is almost full bloom, so that's, you guys are really lucky to see this. Spring is here. All right, so I'm just gonna exit that shrine right there, the red gate, and I'm gonna walk through this park. So as you can see, this tree still the blooming is not still there yet, but we see a couple flowers starting to bloom here. I think it'll turn all pink in a couple more days maybe. So yeah, we have start getting back to the shrines. Ooh, that's also a beautiful tree right there. Oops. It's a beautiful tree. Most flowers are popping, blooming. Anyways, so we have about 400 shrines in Kyoto City, which is quite a lot in a way. 400 shrines. The city population is 1.5 million, so that's not so much. It's not so big of a city. As Japan as a whole, we have about 80,000 registered shrines. So that's a big number right there. So in a way, it's like a convenience store. If you, especially in Kyoto City, it's like a convenience store. If you walk down any alley or any street, you are gonna see a shrine. You're gonna see this beautiful beautiful area with, you know, a god or gods, depending on how big the shrines are, with you know, a park, a nature, and some praying altar. So it's really refreshing, just to, you know, escape that. Ooh, another cherry blossom area is coming down here. So another cherry blossoms here. I am planning to do some cherry blossom tours within a couple of weeks. I think the last week I'll try to do that. So yeah, stay tuned for that as well. It's beautiful. This park is really famous for the blossoms. It's gonna turn all pink down the road right there. It's a beautiful park here too. All right, so next stop. Ooh. Replying to Sandeman Europe. Teague, hi Teague, love the sakura. Them sitting underneath having picnic. The special sakura themed coffee and drinks. It's a beautiful time. Plum blossoms, sometimes too. That is true. Yes, that picnic season is coming up, Teague. All right, so we learned something about Shintoism. And then history goes, we have another religion. We're visiting a temple next. Okay, so Shintoism is a shrine. Shintoism, where the Shintoistic entity where you pray for the gods, or shrine. And the Buddhistic area where you kind of study his books, where there is no gods. Buddha is not a god, technically, is where we call a temple. And we're going to visit a temple next through that gate right there. Notice how the gates are very different. Shinto gate was much more simpler. But this temple gate is a little bit more, you know, complicated, structured. Anywho, Buddhism is a big part of our culture as well. Buddhism might be, in the, you know, Western term, it's much more religious, recharacterized in this country maybe. So Buddhism came to Japan. That's where we're going. Buddhism came to Japan in 500 BC. Wait, 500 BC. Yeah, no, wait. Buddhism was formed in 500 BC. It came to Japan through India, through China on 500 AD, the 6th century. And ever since then, we've been very fond of that religion, fond of those teachings. Which, you know, first there were a lot of religious wars. Of course, there was a lot of clash between the Shinto families and the new Buddhist monks. A lot of clashes. The first Buddhist emperor, the first city, successful Buddhist city built by a Buddhist emperor was the Nara, the city of Nara, which is a bit south from here. And that didn't really So were there missionaries? Yes, there were missionaries. That's true. A lot of missionaries, as well as, well, they never really did it, try to spread it out more like. Um, so those missionaries brought the religion as well, but they also brought education. They also brought the hippest knowledge. You know, they also brought this beautiful style of architecture. They also brought the, you know, the books, and most importantly, they also brought writings, Chinese-based writings, which was very rare to us because we never had the form of writing. So that's a. So, anyways, Buddhism was not just a religion, but it was more like education, more like science, more like architecture, more like you know, government, because they had also a very knowledgeable way of making communities and governing people. So yeah, we kind of adapted that, because not just because of the face of the religion, but because we wanted to build a stronger country, a smarter nation, if you will. We wanted to be just like China was, because you know the Chinese had much more sophisticated empire back then, based their country on Buddhism. So here, guys, we are at this grand gate of the temple Chionin, and you can see this grand wooden structure. The gate is just phenomenal. I walk up the stairs. So this temple, the Buddhist temple, was founded in 1175 AD, so that's the later half of the 12th century. Oof. All right. So yeah, we really basically had to, adapt this to evolve to be a better, better country, better empire. So, and it was not just about the face, but it's also about, the sciences and all the other ideas that came along with it. So especially, Buddhism attached with style architecture format like these. So all this is made from wood. No nails at all. Tongue and groove. Probably all the nails they used probably was just, the designs on these doors, and maybe something on the ceiling. Hi, Rolane. Says, looks beautiful in Kyoto. Yes, it is a beautiful morning in Kyoto. So that's like the part of the door. Yeah, it's a great grand gate built in the 1600s, funded by a shogunate leader back then who was fond of this this shrine. I mean, this temple. I'm sorry, this Buddhist temple. There is a second floor. As you can see, there's a stairs that kind of leads to a second floor where you can climb up when you pay admission fee. It's a great view from the second floor here. Great overview of Kyoto. That's the entrance to a beautiful garden right there. Anyways, yes, this is called Chionin Temple, one of the biggest temples in the Kyoto city center. You might also recognize this temple. Yeah, the craftsmanship is very amazing here. You might also recognize this temple from the movie Last Samurai. Last Samurai was shot here. This is the scene where they did the shoot. This stairs right here. The Tom Cruise movie Last Samurai. So it is so impressive they did this without nails. I doubt people understand how really hard that is. Yes, that's true, Chris. That's very true. I'm gonna show you again this whole structure after I climb this hill. Anyways, this is the scene from Last Samurai movie where Tom Cruise first visited Japan and first visited the Emperor. He climbed up the stairs. And this stair is not so easy to climb. So again, I'm gonna look back at that gate. That's very good. Yeah, so again, you see how Buddhism was very important to us as well. And so the first Buddhist city, successful Buddhist city, was Nara, which they, literally they based the city on Buddhism, only Buddhism, and that didn't really work that well. A lot of clashes, a lot of wars, and after that, the original emperor, the Shinto emperors, took back its power. Ooh, steep stairs. Okay. Took back its power and they made Kyoto. And Kyoto was very successful because they found a way. They found a peaceful agreement way to combine the Shinto faith and the Buddhist faith together. That's why it kind of lasted for the next 400 years at least, until the 1200s. Chris, did they not use nails because of a shortage of iron, or because this is how just? I think both ways. Iron was a very very expensive material back then, and we had many source of wood in this country. So I think it goes both ways. I think the nails came in much later, but and up until then we found a way to make stuff just by wood. So okay, so I'm up here at the main halls of this Chionin Temple. So anyways, one of the ways the emperor found the way to calm down the Buddhists, or want to find the middle ground with the Buddhists, was the emperor, the Kyoto emperor. That's the map of the whole temple, by the way. It's huge. Was to fund the monks that weren't power hungry. So he kind of fired all the administrative people that was like heavy into Buddhism and trying to overthrow his his position by using Buddhism. He kind of fired all those people. He kind of fired all the staffs who was like deep into Buddhism that wanted power, right? So what he did was funded the Buddhism people, the monks that really cared about the true Buddhist faith, which was, finding peace, and finding the way of enlightenment. Again, another beautiful craftsman structure right here. That's the main hall. So yeah, what the emperor did was fund those monks that stayed in the mountains, fund those monks that built temples in the mountains out from the city centers, and funded them their practice of finding enlightenment through Buddhism, which they would pass on to the common people, which they make religion more sophisticated, making everything better and better and better. So this is actually one of them. This was built by a monk who kind of started a Buddhism sect called the Pure Land sect, which this guy really stayed here in the mountains, founded this beautiful temple, and basically stayed there not relating to the government. What historic Japanese instruments would have filled the air with music during the days these buildings were built? What would it have sounded like here 1,000+ years ago? That's very interesting. That's very interesting, Chris, that you asked that, because I don't know if you hear this, but I hear a flute playing, music playing. I think in one of these structures. I might just check it out. Yeah, so music-wise, I guess historical Japanese instruments were used to be played, like the bamboo flute, the koto, the string. Yeah, speaking of music though, this temple is famous for its chanting sessions. They chant this mantra over and over again. So this is actually called the Chanting Hall, almost. In this Chanting Hall, I think periodically thousands of monks come up here, having their percussive instrument. It's not a percussive instrument, it's not an instrument, but they have this percussive thing going on, taking the rhythms. Oop, can you hear me? Can't hear you yet. Oh, can't hear it. Okay, you can't hear the flute yet, because, okay. I hear the flute from somewhere. I might be able to just climb up here. I think I'm not so allowed to have my camera, but I'm just in a secret. Ooh, do you hear it now? So this is the main prayer hall inside. I'm not allowed to film this, but just for the sakes of it. I don't know if you can hear the flute playing, but it's beautiful, beautiful prayer hall with all the golden altars. Okay, now you hear the flute, yeah. Gonna move up. Gonna move around. Hope they won't see me. I think you guys are lucky to hear the flute too. Yep, that was very... Oh, wow. Anyways, I think I don't have to whisper anymore, but yeah, look at this beautiful, beautiful architecture here. I know Teague is talking to me. I'm gonna get back here. Teague, hey Teague, I never saw Last Samurai. I should the movie. I wonder if the new Disney Mulan was actually filmed again. I don't know about that. Mulan, not really sure. Last Samurai, definitely. And that's what I heard. Mulan, I'm not really sure. Yes, well then, yeah, okay. Anyways, yeah. I'm gonna try to come back to the... Oh, there's a sideway here. A side door here. I'm not trying to... Ooh. Now again, I'm not allowed to film this inside. Inside the halls. I don't want people to watch me do it either, so... Yeah, again, a beautiful, beautiful golden altar inside. A beautiful chandelier. Michelle asked what kind of wood is used on the temples. Yeah, all these woods, yes, you see here, are probably Japanese cypress, Japanese pine. All these structures is probably around 400 years old, maybe. Yeah, this was burnt down a couple times since the war. So, and it was also after it was burned down, it was funded by the shogunate, a famous shogunate back then. And yeah, and I think it was founded in 1600s or either 1700s, somewhere around there. Oops. I'm just gonna walk past by here because there's a monk. Hide my camera. Okay, I'm gonna get out of here. Before he sees me. Sorry if I'm rushing, but yeah. Anyways. Again, a beautiful. Ooh, he's not following me. Good, okay. Alright. Like a maze here. Okay, now I hear him follow me, so I'm just gonna get out of here. Oh, never mind. He didn't really care if I had a camera or not. How generous. Never mind. I didn't have to be so much of a secretive now. Okay. What would they do? Kick me out? They would probably just gently ask me to shut it off. I think they won't kick me out, but it's I don't want any trouble since I come here a lot to show with my camera, so I don't want to be on the blacklist. Just trying to be careful here. Anyway, so that was the inside of the main prayer hall. Yes, I think, yes, good to know. I think he was a monk, a staff here. There are a lot of monks residing here, but this is not their home. They do have another place just for to live. Maybe they do have like overnight duties, but basically monks do not live here. At what age do they start training? Great question. I have no clue. I really do have no clue. I think any time. I really don't know. I think they do have schools, like Buddhist schools, which you can start early. But yeah, I really don't know how the ranks work here. And another beautiful, beautiful flowers almost up to bloom. Oops. Also another, I think this is a graveyard. It said where the bone lies. That sign said where the bone lies. So yes, I think probably where it's the, close to a graveyard. Chris, do they live from donations or does Japan help support them? Both, I think. Japan does support them if they are registered as like a national treasure or national shrine, national temple. But other than that, they do pay off with donations. These bigger shrines are, registered as a city shrine, a city temple, a city property. So probably they are funded by the city / by the country. But yes, they do give donations. They do, I think, I don't know, I think they do organize, like, you know, they're a business. They do, like, ooh, lots of bugs. They do, I think they do manage, like, schools. They do, I think they own a couple schools, couple preschools. They do sell merchandises. So yeah, I don't, and they don't pay taxes like any other religious entities in Japan. So that's pretty be helpful. Okay, I'm gonna start. Ooh, just gonna walk down here a bit more. Again, big lanterns. I don't know what this is. I think a fountain. Michelle says beautiful. It sure is. It sure is beautiful out here. Try to show you a statue here. I think it's up here. Yeah, another great statue is in here. I'll show you tidbits. And I'm probably not allowed to show you the inside. There's a huge Buddha statue right there, as you can see. This guy's making a prayer routine. Notice he's hitting this, it's almost like a drums. I think that's not a monk, that's just a common guy walking around making his prayers. A beautiful golden Buddha at the center. That's that. Gotta head down to our next destination here. So I hope you enjoyed this beautiful, beautiful temple. Still under constructions like that, but still. There's always been a fixing here and there. Ooh. Oh, I thought I could go through it. Oh, yes, I can go through here. That's good. That's fun. Look at that small car. Pass through here. I wanted to show you one more thing. Well, everybody's trying to clean up and build up maybe. See, the temples and the shrines both are pretty busy, but it's pretty peaceful. I mean, to have that beautiful shrine and temple side by side like that as neighbors. One of the biggest shrines and one of the biggest temples are neighbors here, so Lots of cars, parking lots. I'm gonna walk down and show you one more thing. Alright, so walk down this stairs. I think it's gonna be the exit. Again, guys, it's really hard to take a bad picture in the city. Everything is so well lined up. Everything is so photogenic. Yeah, Rolane, right, Rolane, hi, says so serene, yes. Very, very serene. Yeah, anywhere you look, it's very beautiful. Like, you know, the gate right here, it's pretty. I'll show you this moss garden, the moss garden. Walk down this beautiful stairs. Oops, excuse me. I'm just trying to walk out from this huge temple here. Yeah, again, so you guys saw yeah, it was really lucky that we didn't really get to any troubles showing you the inside of the temples. You know, it's very, again, this is a famous temple, well funded and well popular. Yeah, so that was very lucky to see the flowers as well and all the statues, because not really a lot of temples show you the inside of the prayer hall, so that's was very good. Anyways, our last stop, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to visit one more shrine. A very significant shrine here. I'll walk a bit more and head east. Ooh, looky that pink flower right there. Okay, so yeah, anyways, yes, so the next stop, we're gonna check out one more shrine. It's called the Heian Shrine. Which is a shrine that was dedicated to the first and last emperor that resided in Kyoto City. What is, you know, what's great in that temple, I think it was probably built in, I forgot when it was built, but probably late. One of the newer shrines, probably in the late, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not gonna say it, I just have to. I'm just walking down the neighborhood from there. That's a tofu restaurant. Oh, never mind, it's a cafe, Chaya. Ooh, look at that. A beautiful, beautiful, another cherry blossoms we're headed to. Oh, I didn't know that was part of the temple. Anyways, yeah, so we're kind of heading into another shrine. Again, so back to the original stories, the temples was well funded when, you know, they weren't thinking about overturning the government, when the monks were just basically residing in the mountains. They also funded a lot of monks and paid their fees to, you know, have a visit to China. Just gonna climb up here and show you this beautiful cherry blossom tree right here. A beautiful scenery again. Can't really walk up closer, which is not Okay, yep, that gate. Oops. More cars. Another great spring day. Probably the temperature is getting close to 10 degrees. So I don't know if you can see that red thing right there. The huge red gate is where we kind of headed. Speaking of temples, we have 2,500 registered temples in this city. 2,500, that's a lot. That's another temple, different one right there. So, you know, that kind of speaks a lot, right? Because we have only 400 shrines registered in Kyoto City, but we have 2,500 temples registered. So we definitely have more temples in the city than shrines. And those were probably built much later later in history. You know, like in 12th century, 13th century, etc., etc. Temple was much easier to construct and build for the purposes because they were like schools. They were education centers. They were community centers. Versus shrines, which they were not. They were probably at that time was more aristocratic. Aristocratic centers for the rich. Very a center to preserve history and so there was not. There were so much shrines, new shrines built later in the history, but temples were, they were so-called mass-produced. We're gonna walk by there. So that huge gate you see, very, very high. I think it's over like 30 meters high. Across the street here. Alright, so we're heading to the Heian Shrine. Heian is the name of the period where Kyoto was, flourishing. From 794 to the 12th century, we call this the Heian period, where the Kyoto was that the capital, the center of Japan. And so that kind of shrine represents that was built to commemorate that period of time, the Heian time. The Heian time, the color represents the Heian time is that bright orange, kind of reddy kind of color. So yes, so that shrine was made to commemorate the emperor, so that was kind of easily funded, reasoning to build. I think it was probably later in history, probably like 18th century maybe. I'm trying to walk down to that huge gate there. This Heian Shrine is famous for that massive gate. Lots of buses, lots of cars. The sun's coming up. So, to commemorate the first and the last emperor that resided in Kyoto is why this shrine was made. So it's, strictly very strictly a Kyoto shrine. Again, if you see the gate here, it's very different from the temples. Much more brighter, a bit more festive. Temples was much more conservative in color. It's black, wood, white, gray. But shrines like this, very, bright color. And this district is filled with museums and theaters as well. So okay, we're kind of coming down to that beautiful red gate through this beautiful bridge. And across the bridge here, and here we are to the huge entrance. Right here, on my right, Kyoto City Kyocera Museum of Art. A very, very beautiful art museum here. That's one's right there. That's very Western, right? I mean, museums, so it's kind of Western, but it's surrounded by this okay, I hope you guys see how huge this is. Wow. A huge, huge red gate. And, lots of cars could pass through here. Walking by this huge, huge red gate leading to the Heian Shrine. Now you can see how important this shrine is, right? Having such a great gate. This kind of shows how important our emperors are. So to my left is that museum. What a contrast, huh? And put my camera, and I am going into that main hall right there, showing you the inside of the shrine. So yes, shrines and temples, they take hands. They're both are essential part of our culture. They are side by side. They coexist side by side. We love our gods. We love our Buddhas. And it's again, Kyoto's beautiful in a way that there really represents that, having huge religious entities side by side like this. I've been speaking, probably walking down for about an hour and a half now, and And you see, you know, three major entities walking past, and yeah, it's just beautiful. It never gets old. Alrighty, here we are. So this shrine kind of was based on, the gate right here was based on, you know, the city entrance that they had back then at the palace, the south end of the palace. So you kind of, you know, it is a shrine, but it kind of takes you a flashback to the imperial times of the 800s and the 900s. And we see a lot of people walking down. I see girls wearing kimono taking some good photos. It's amazing. It's amazing. Yes, thanks, Chris. It is very amazing here. I'm just gonna show you the inside of it and call it a day. Those pretty gals. Some good photos. Yep, so we'll go in there. Another beautiful, beautiful gate. A little different from, similar but different from the first Yasaka Shrine. Teague, sorry you had a short break, had to do something. That's fine, Teague. Welcome back. So that's the main gate of the Heian Shrine. Okay, I'm gonna just show you on the side. We have, before you go into any shrine, I haven't done this yet. Before you go into any shrine, you gotta purify your hands and mouth. Teague, I was looking a cruise that goes to Kushiro. Do you know that area? I actually do. I go there every year. I used to go there every year in Kushiro, Hokkaido. Teague. Beautiful, beautiful fishing ports. Beautiful little town there. Anyways, you see this. First, you have to sanitize your hand, clean your hand. Nowadays, it's an automatic water dispenser through some bamboo pipes. It's pretty cool. Here, you purify your mouth and your hands. After you do that, you're ready to go in. Again, for the beautiful gate. So we see kind of signs here that talks about the history of the shrine. And we see some English signs here. Heian Shrine. The Heian was founded in 1895 to mark 1,100 years since Kyoto was made the ancient capital, Heian-kyo, which is the Heian period, in 794, and enshrines Emperor Kanmu in 1940 in traditional court from Kyoto, traditional count since the enthronement of first Emperor Jinmu. The last emperor to rule from Kyoto, Komei, was also enshrined here. So that's a little brief history here. So again, one of the newer shrines. Very aristocratic, newer shrines here. What I love about the shrine is the gardens, but also the structure right here. That's the old map. Every shrine have loads of sake here. That's barrels of sake. Not barrels of whiskey, but barrels of sake here. It's their kind of a tradition. You know, basically God gives us rain, God gives us crops, God gives us rice. We make sake and return the favor to the gods. That's how it works. So that's the main gate here. Traditional structures like ropes and the zigzaggy paper. The ropes represents, it says it represents the clouds. the road to the thunder. So again, a little hint of rain, hint of blessing from the gods from the heavens. You see a lantern here, a huge lantern, the sign of chrysanthemum, the national flower of Japan, the symbol of the empire, the emperor. Step, go in. Okay, so a huge, again, another huge space here. Roland, hi. Roland asks, why so few people out waking in such a beautiful place? Good question. I think it's just because it's a Monday morning. Everybody's at work. And yeah, it's just I think there's a ceremony going on. Let me catch that. I see a priest and priestess walking in line, heading to the main altar, so I'm gonna catch up on that. Maybe try to catch what they're doing. Maybe it's a wedding? Oh, you never know. Anyways, this place is usually crowded, filled with people later in the day, maybe in the evening. Since tourism is not so, popular now with all the restrictions. Not many domestic tourists are walking around these days. But Roland, please understand that this used to be not maybe in the Monday mornings, but this is a packed place, and you are witnessing a rare moment in this area where there's like no people, and this is very clean, very easy to walk because it's really packed with people usually. So you're kind of seeing a rare thing here. I'm just here at the main prayer hall, which I know I am not allowed to walk up there because I see a big sign right there that says no shooting, photography, video of any kind. That sign. What are Japanese weddings like? Weddings are usually done in Shinto style. So there's a lot of weddings done in this shrine as well. It's very formal. It's very formal in shrines. The couples dressed up in traditional wedding kimonos, black and white. And they just come down here to make the prayer. So it's very, formal. Ooh, the music started. Can you hear it? I know I'm not supposed to shoot the inside, but I think I can get the microphone closer to you. Oops, excuse me guys, sorry about that. I'm just trying to let you guys listen to the music here. Can you hear the music? Sorry, just to let you show the stairs, but I'm not allowed to shoot the inside. Just gonna at least let you listen to the music. heard. You get the feel of the music here. What a beautiful garden here. Okay, let me go back to the screens here. Do you enjoy Kinkakuji probably and the silver one? Yes, I do. I go there quite often when I used to do the walking tour. Also another beautiful place to be. Oh, slow pan the courtyard. Yes, of course. Okay. Just gonna do a little slow pan of the corner here. I so wish I could let you see the inside of the ritual. But yeah. Hi, Michelle. Thank you for another amazing tour. Thank you for joining in. All right. Alrighty, guys. Alrighty, guys. Thanks again for joining in on another one of my live streaming walking tours. That's it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this expedition. Ooh. Let's say goodbye with the music in my, in the background. Let me move to an area. Rolane, thank you so much for your donations. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Okay. And if you guys, again, thanks so much for sticking around for such quite amount of time. It's almost like I guess it's almost like 9:30. People are starting to come out. Anyways, this was Michaela. Thanks for the donations. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining in. Again, keep the donations coming. It really means a lot, and I really appreciate you guys' his help. Yeah. So, how was it? I hope you guys learned something today. You guys were really lucky to hear all the musics from the shrines and the temples. This is pretty rare. So, yeah, it was for you guys. Chris, thanks again. Thank you always for your support. Your enthusiasm. Thank you so much. Yep. What else should I say? Chris, is there anything I could promote for your next tours? I know, Chris, you're doing a lot of tours, so if you could just give me a heads up, I'll just, try to promote that for you here as well. Anyways, guys, thank you so much again. Great job. Thank you, Chris. Just gonna little pan around here for the beautiful scenery. Yeah, next week I'm gonna take a little break, but with the week after that, the last week of March, I'm gonna try to give you a night tour of Kyoto. Walking around with all the city lights, pretty beautiful, and I'm sure all the cherry blossoms are blooming then. So, yeah, I think it'll be another great walking tour as well. Anyways, guys, I'm just gonna let you hear a little bit more of the music, and goodbye for now. I read all the comments, so no, thank you, brother. Thank you, Chris. Yeah, I read all the comments. If you could later on, if you write questions, whatever, I'm gonna try to answer them later through the chat. Vicksburg on Tuesday. So on Tuesday, Vicksburg on Tuesday. Wednesday on Memphis. So that's Chris doing. Is that Tennessee? I think they're both Tennessee. Yeah, up to that. So guys, Tuesday we got Vicksburg, and Wednesday we have Memphis. Stay tuned for that. It's fun. The Alabama, the South Tours, Georgia, that was very great. I watched it. It's fun. Friday and Saturday, St. Louis. Oh, I so miss St. Louis. I wish I could. I drove there a lot when I was in the States. So St. Louis, that's there. Saturday from Jerusalem. Oh, that's great. Saturday from Jerusalem. Okay. Yeah, the music's getting louder and better, so I'm just going to check you out. Anyways, guys, thank you and see you. Goodbye. Vicksburg is Mississippi. Okay, sorry about that. Vicksburg in Mississippi. Stay tuned for the Chris's America tour. And Jerusalem and Japan, all over. Again, thanks again for joining in. See you again, guys. Bye-bye.